This is a great little place. Thanks for bringing me here. Oh, when I go out, I like to go to a few clubs in Las Vegas. You know, that's where I'm from. And I have a few little intimate restaurants. Actually, if we go out on another date, you'll have to come and be my guest. A great date to me is a man who is very kind, has a great sense of humor, and someone that I can tell enjoys himself, you know? I mean, I don't like people that are too much into themselves. I'd rather get to know the real person. Being a star hasn't affected my life at all, I don't think. I like to have a life. I have dogs and cats, and I like to swim in my pool and take jacuzzis, and I do laundry just like everybody else. But I mean, I also get the fun of playing a star, going out and meeting all the people who have watched the movies and videos, and dancing in all the clubs around the country. So it's kind of like having the best of both worlds. Sometimes people do recognize me. You know what they really look for? My birthmark. Can you believe it? Once I was up on stage dancing, and I could hear the guys talk because the sound travels up. And they didn't realize it, and one guy's hitting his buddy going, "Oh my gosh, look, it's really her, it's her birthmark." What I really love about men is a wonderful personality, and I really like arms on a guy. If you have good arms, that's very attractive to me for some reason. And I like a man that looks me in the eye. An ordinary day for me, being at home, be waking up in the morning to fresh brewed coffee, which I always grind the night before, and letting my dogs out, doing a little laundry maybe, getting on the internet, of course, answering my email, calling a few friends, and business calls, of course, come in that time period too, unfortunately. And then I love to go swimming with my dogs, especially if it's in the summertime. They get in the jacuzzi now and everything. Of course we can talk about sex. What would you like to know? Does size matter? Why is every man preoccupied with that particular question? Does it matter to you? I mean, all women are built differently. No one ever asked me that question. But yeah, I guess it does matter a little bit. I am physically very tiny. So there are many men in the adult business that are too big for me. Although I've done a few scenes with a few big guys, but it takes me a while to really get them inside. You know, a lot of people ask me about women in bed. And in my personal life, I was never with a girl before I got into the adult movies. Selena Steele was the first girl that I got to work with. And let me tell you something, when you shut your eyes, she was great. Everybody just does things differently, you know? We're all unique, and I think that's part of the fun about my job, if you want to call it that. I get to experience so many different women, and they all do things differently. Some are really good at what they do, and then it might just depend on who they're with when they're doing it. You know, so I've had some great experiences. The best thing about having sex on camera is the anticipation of what the fans are going to think of the scene you performed. So it's kind of two things. It's the reaction of the people who watch, and it's having sex in front of a whole crew of people and seeing if you can really enjoy yourself in that moment. What I like about sex off camera is the intimacy. When you're on a set, you have a director that's standing right there. You have a camera that could be 6 inches away from down below or whatever you're doing at the time. You know, so that makes it a little different, I would think. And most people in their regular lives never experience that. We get to experience both worlds. Things that get me off would be seeing a stranger, a across a bar in a crowded room, making eye contact, having him come up to me and talk to me, and just feeling that spark and knowing that probably I'm going to go home with him later. You know, I like romance and action. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. It could be one of those days that I want to put chiffon up and light a whole bunch of candles and make a big bubble bath and enjoy a person intimately. And then there's those days that you want to go to a party and hope you end up going home with 3 people. You know how that is. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I can't differentiate between all these sexual experiences I've had. You know, some have been in exotic places, and oh God, some have been with beautiful people, and I don't know, there's so many to choose from with me. I haven't had it yet. Why are you asking me about my worst sexual experience? That's a terrible thing to ask a person. You should never ask that. Because especially on a date like this, I don't want to discuss anything that might be terrible. I actually like a wide variety of music. A lot of different things get me in the mood. It depends on how I'm feeling. Jazz, blues. When I was little, I owned a horse, so my parents got into this country western phase, and I even like that. Even the old twangy stuff I know that's weird. And a lot of the new artists that are out, Tool, geez, there's so many to name. It just depends on the person I'm with and what we're doing at the time and what kind of person he or she is, too. You know, you get in those situations, and sometimes you know it's just going to be very romantic. And then you get in another situation, and you know it's going to be that lust and hot and sex, and you can't wait to rip off their clothes. You know, it's like that with everybody. The best places I've ever had sex. Maui, on a beach. Once I squirted baby oil all over the kitchen floor and made the guy put his back into it. Bubble baths are fun if they're really big bathtubs. And I don't know, I guess maybe exotic places. The kind that you're like partially outside and you're hoping that people don't notice, but on the other hand, you're intrigued by maybe somebody's gonna see me. You know, it just builds that intensity inside you. What has to happen to make me want to be with you is you opening up to me. I want to see the real person behind those eyes. I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me something important about you or in your life. I don't want to know your ego. I want to meet the real person inside and see if we connect. Am I dominant or submissive? You know, actually, I would like to be submissive more, but I think because I was a cheerleader for so many years and I have this big mouth, that for some reason I tend to take over a lot. Do I like to make the first move on a date? That depends on the person again. Sometimes it's very intriguing if we connect very quickly and whoever I am with is really going for it. Because then I get to play the submissive, which I don't get very often. So, I don't know. It just depends on the person. Do I have any advice about love and sex? Yeah, go for it. If you think it could be a wonderful, lasting relationship, don't stop yourself. Don't wait. Don't let anything get in your way. And on the other hand, if you think it's just going to be a great one-night stand, go for that too. Why not? We only live once as far as we know, right? And I would hope that, you know, it would mean something to you. But on the other hand, sex is good. And if you're both willing, why not try it? Use a condom. Ooh, what do I like to do most in bed? Well, it's not oral. I don't mind oral, but Actually, I like to get right to it. Oh, what do I like to have done to me most? Can I say a dirty word in here? I just like to be fucked. I mean, how much more can you explain it? What do you like? Oh, God. Okay, wait. Stop it! My favorite position is doggy style. Because thinking of that size thing that you guys always wonder about, no matter what size you are with a girl, everybody reaches a great point with doggy. What do you have to do to take me home tonight? Laugh with me. Let me look at you. Let me look you in the eyes. Let me touch your skin. Let me feel your hands. Wrap your arms around me. And let me taste the best kiss that you have. And then I'll decide.